Ukraine's President Zelensky is in Washington today. It's a high-stakes visit for him. We are entering the winter months in Ukraine, so now is the time to make some gains, and Zelensky came prepared. He brought his suit, he readied his pitch, he brought his A game, and then came a googly all the way from Russia, a surprise phone call. Hours before Zelensky landed, Russian President Putin dialed Donald Trump. They spoke for almost 2.5 hours, and after that, everything changed. The mood, the tone, the agenda, all of it shifted in favor of Moscow. The day began with all the focus on Zelensky. It ended with Trump announcing that he would meet Putin. So what exactly happened in that call? Well, here's the background. Trump has been losing patience with Russia recently. He thought that his meeting with Putin would end the war. But 2 months later, there is no progress, so he's lashing out. First, he targeted countries buying oil from Russia, India being one of them. Then he started sharing US intelligence on Russian assets. This enabled Ukraine to target Russian oil facilities. Nearly 20% of Moscow's capacity has been hit. And then this month, Trump floated a new idea. What if the US sold Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine? These are high-speed cruise missiles. They can travel at 70% the speed of sound. More importantly, they fly at lower altitudes, meaning they're hard to intercept. These missiles have a range of over 1,600 kilometers. They can easily hit Moscow from Ukraine. So recently, Trump suggested giving these missiles to Ukraine, and Russia was livid. Putin said it would mark an escalation by the US. Of course, Zelensky was thrilled. He was flying to Washington to seal the Tomahawk deal. And on cue, Putin dialed Trump. After that call, the US president changed his tune. He became non-committal on the missiles. He says the US cannot deplete its own stock.
We need Tomahawks for the United States of America, too. We have a lot of them, but we need them. I mean, we can't deplete for our country. So, you know, they're very vital. They're very powerful. They're very accurate. They're very good, but we need them, too. And I thought it was a very good phone call. I thought very productive. But I'll be meeting with President Putin, and we'll make a determination. Tomorrow I'm meeting with President Zelensky, and I'll be telling him about the call.
So Trump will meet Putin again, this time in Budapest, the capital of Hungary. Technically, Hungary is NATO soil, but in reality, it is neutral turf. Their prime minister is Viktor Orban. He is a close friend of Putin. He has already started planning the summit. Viktor Orban says Hungary will be an island of peace. Now, symbolically, this is a big win for Putin, because Budapest is also a European Union capital. The EU has been trying to isolate Putin for years. He hasn't visited a single EU country since the war began. But pretty soon, he will be welcomed in Hungary, that too for a grand summit with the US president. So symbolically, this is a big victory for the Russians. But strategically, well, it's not clear yet. The Kremlin sounded positive after Putin's call with Trump.
What we do have is the willingness of the presidents to hold such a meeting. But first, the matter will be taken up by Foreign Minister Lavrov and Secretary of State Rubio. They will first hold a call and meet to begin discussing the topic and all related issues. The meeting could indeed take place within 2 weeks or slightly later. There is a shared understanding that it should not be put off.
A lot depends on the meeting tonight. Just a while from now, Trump will host Zelensky at the White House. It's their third meeting in the same setting. The first ended in a shouting match. The second was extremely warm. So let's see how this third one goes. Zelensky will be hoping for more military sales. Chances are he will lobby hard for the Tomahawk missiles, but all eyes will be on Donald Trump. The US president believes he's on a roll. He's fresh off a successful peace summit in West Asia. He wants to use that momentum in Ukraine. But this is a different ballgame. You see, in Gaza, Trump had a lot of leverage on both sides. He could pressure Israel directly, and he could pressure Hamas via his Arab allies. But in this case, in the case of Ukraine, Trump has little to no leverage over Russia. But he does have a lot of leverage over Kiev. So it will be tempting for Donald Trump to enforce a peace deal on Ukraine. He has resisted that temptation so far. Let's see if that changes tonight.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point. Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.